astronauts Dr. Kara Foster, Ariana DeBose, and Christian Campbell, John Gallagher Jr., embark on a journey to the ISS. Over their communication system, they receive congratulations for officially becoming astronauts. As they dock with the station, Campbell shares a Russian tradition of 3 knocks to signal safety and reflects on his strained relationship with his teenage daughter. Inside the station, Kira receives a warm welcome on her first day from her colleagues, Commanding Officer Gordon Barrett, Chris Messina, Veronika Vetrov, Masha Mashkova, and the Russian crew, Nikolai Pyulov, Kosta Ronin, and Alexei Pyulov, Pilouis Bake. They capture the moment with a group photo. Kira engages in conversation with Nika, impressed by her 50-day tenure, and learns about the importance of unity in space. Gordon gives Kira a tour, acquaints her with the station's layout, and offers advice on adapting to sleeping in microgravity. As Kira settles in, Gordon highlights the significance of the constant hum emanating from the life support system. Kira initiates her experiments with mice, collaborating closely with Alexei, whose past endeavors with mice have met unfortunate ends. Later, Kira joins the crew for leisure time, observing Christian's innovative drill and Nikolai's exercise regimen. During a communal dinner, gifts and laughter flow freely. A light-hearted mishap with a bottle of alcohol brings everyone together in laughter. Kira is guided to the viewing deck, where she is awestruck by the panoramic view of Earth. Despite discussions about the psychological impact of viewing Earth from space, Kira's smile reflects her appreciation for being one of a select few to witness such a remarkable sight. Later that night, Kira struggles to find rest, feeling uneasy in her sleeping bag. As she contemplates leaving her quarters, she's startled by Nika, who helps her back into the bag and laments the absence of physical comfort and intimacy in space. The next morning, Kira and her companions rise to attend to their duties, only to find the computers offline, preventing them from sending messages. Kira is disturbed to discover signs of aggression among the mice in their habitat, leaving her puzzled. Upon reaching the viewing deck, Kira is shocked to witness multiple eruptions on Earth, realizing they're not isolated incidents but widespread explosions. Panic ensues among both crews as they reach out to their respective mission controls. Christian worries about his daughters, while Nika frets over her nieces. In a seemingly clandestine conversation with Alexei, Nika reveals she's hidden a bottle of vodka under one of the consoles. Meanwhile, Gordon receives a confidential message from Mission Control, disclosing that the United States and Russia are at war, with other countries potentially involved. His final orders direct him to seize control of the station from the Russians, using any means necessary. Gordon questions the directive's rationale and momentarily keeps it from Kira and Christian. Shortly after, the station unexpectedly powers down before rebooting. Alone together, Kira and Christian uncover the grim truth and are horrified. Christian suspects the Russians may have received similar orders. Nika approaches them urgently. The station has lost propulsion and is descending from orbit. They have only a day before re-entry and must send a message to regain propulsion or face certain death. Suggestions of using the Soyuz rocket arise, but logistical challenges remain unresolved. Kira sends a distress signal, hoping for a response from Mission Control. Gordon receives unsettling news about a damaged antenna outside the station requiring immediate repair. Despite his suspicions, he volunteers for the task. As he gears up, Christian quietly expresses concern, while Nika, his lover, approaches to check his suit and share a heartfelt kiss, revealing their relationship. Before heading out, Gordon reassures Kira and Christian, expressing his trust in the team. Once outside, Gordon witnesses the Earth's alarming red hue, indicating widespread destruction, including in the United States. He instructs Kira to shield everyone from the site to preserve their fragile morale. Meanwhile, Christian and Alexei discuss concerns about CO2 poisoning, heightening Christian's paranoia, which proves justified. As Gordon progresses toward the antenna, Kira asks about Nika, prompting Gordon to share their post-station romance sparked by a night of karaoke. Alexei's hesitation leads to cutting the communication between Kira and Gordon, revealing Kira's past struggles with trust after personal betrayals. Stranded near the undamaged antenna, Gordon realizes he's fallen into a trap set by the Russians. As he attempts to communicate, a grabber arm controlled by Nikolai sends him spinning off the station, seemingly to his demise, while Nikolai moves to seize control of the station by any means necessary. Unable to reach Gordon and unable to see him outside, Kira and Nika begin to feel panicked. They gear up to check if he's still connected to his tether and are horrified to find that he isn't. Both Kira and Nika want to go out and search for Gordon, but their respective crew members inform them that Gordon is dead. Nika confronts Alexei and Nikolai and discovers the truth about what happened. Heartbroken and horrified, she vows to reveal their actions to the others. "No one deserves what you did to Gordon." "No one," Nika says, breaking down in tears over Gordon's loss. Christian takes Kira aside and expresses doubts about the accidental nature of Gordon's fate, seeking confirmation of her loyalty. Kira questions the true circumstances and ponders their next course of action. Nika insists on speaking privately with Kira, asking for her lockbox key in exchange for hers. Initially denying having it, Kira eventually confesses to receiving orders to secure the station. Driven by the desire to save lives, Nika instructs Kira to retrieve samples from Alexei's box, valuable for treating radiation poisoning. She urges Kira to escape with the samples via the Soyuz rocket while she creates a diversion to buy time for their rescue. "I'm helping you because you told the truth. Your job is more important," Nika asserts as they swap keys, stressing the urgency of Kira's task. Hi movie buffs, don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, share, and bell button. It's free and it really helps. You'll be notified of each new recap. Meanwhile, armed with a drill/fire gun, Nika initiates a confrontation by flooding one of the chambers with pure oxygen, determined to confront Nikolai and Alexei. Angered by Gordon's death and the transformation of their friendship, she considers using the drill to ignite the oxygen, leading to a tense standoff. As Kira accompanies Christian to the research lab in search of the Zero Node, she learns from him that it doesn't exist, prompting her to question Nika's honesty and seek her out. As Alexei and Nikolai attempt to reason with Nika, Kira and Christian quietly approach from behind. Faced with limited options, Christian strikes a tank against the back of Nika's head, resulting in her death. Alexei and Nikolai are distraught, while Christian tries to explain that he has no other recourse. Alexei and Nikolai mourn Nika's passing, while Kira initially refuses to accept the reality of her death. However, Christian acknowledges the grim truth of his actions, admitting to having ended Nika's life. He expresses a longing to return home to his children. Nikolai confides in his brother, revealing his intention to settle matters. Alexei questions him further, to which Nikolai responds with solemnity, blaming the Americans for their friend's demise. "We killed our friend," Alexei cries out in anguish. Nikolai praises his brother as a good son and sibling before setting off to find Kira and Christian, leaving Alexei to mourn Nika's loss. Against the backdrop of a world consumed by flames, Alexei discovers the bottle Nika had hidden and indulges in heavy drinking. Peering at the monitor, he calls out Gordon's name, realizing that Gordon is still alive. Using the grabber's arm, Alexei brings Gordon back inside the station. Meanwhile, Kira and Christian hide among the luggage to evade Nikolai. However, Alexei spots Kira and pulls her aside. Nikolai falsely reassures Kira and Christian, claiming that Nika is merely injured and can be saved, urging reconciliation. When Nikolai attacks Christian, Gordon intervenes, demanding to know Nika's whereabouts. Learning of Nika's demise, Gordon engages in a fierce confrontation with Nikolai in a locked hallway. Armed with a drill, Gordon grapples with Nikolai, only to be impaled himself. Despite his injuries, Gordon retaliates by using a screwdriver to pierce Nikolai's neck. Both men perish, their bodies drifting in the hallway, as Alexei, Christian, and Kira arrive too late to intervene. The trio solemnly wrap their fallen friends in sleeping bags, grieving over their loss before mourning privately as the world continues to burn. Scanning the station, Kira's eyes catch a sign bearing the words Node 0. The realization dawns on her that Nika has spoken the truth about the samples. Rushing to Christian's quarters to share the revelation, she finds the samples in a Soyuz suit, evidence that Christian had known all along and was planning to exploit the situation for personal gain. Abruptly, the life support ventilation fails. While preparing food, Kira observes Christian's tense demeanor as he wields a knife. He divulges that Nika had suggested leaving them behind with the samples but claims to have forgiven her, believing that some may still see them as heroes despite the tragedy. Kira discerns the madness in Christian, likely fueled by the loss of his family, seeking escape from the station by any means necessary. She discreetly signals Alexei by tapping a condiment bottle thrice, subtly affirming her allegiance. Requesting Christian's knife, initially rebuffed due to CO2 sickness, Kira invokes a phrase Nico once uttered in Russian, underscoring the significance of unity. Christian, realizing his exposure, admits to disabling the life support but asserts that he can rectify the situation. "So can I," Alexei retorts. In a desperate act, Christian plunges the knife into Alexei's hand. Despite the excruciating pain, Alexei maintains a firm grip on him, while Kira employs the necklace Christian had given her as a garrote, strangling him to death. It is a protracted struggle, but Christian eventually succumbs, leaving the two astronauts adrift with his lifeless body, enveloped in sorrow. Kira attends to Alexei's wound as they sit in the viewing chamber, acknowledging a message requesting a propulsion boost, securing their immediate safety. With communication restored on both ends, their respective governments inquire about their control of the station. Disenchanted and incensed by their selfish governments, Kira and Alexei disregard the messages, opting instead to depart in the Soyuz rocket with Alexei's research. Hurtling back toward Earth, amidst the apparent devastation and impending collapse of their governments, Alexei poses a pivotal question: "Where are we going?" "I don't know," Kira replies, uncertain of their destination amidst the chaos. If you haven't seen ISS yet, you should. I'm a big action fan, but this was a really good movie too. I think you will enjoy it. Thanks for watching. If there's anything you would like to see, let me know in the comments below. Until next time, stay safe.